What up guys? So I'm back with another video today, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but I am literally wearing the same thing I worn in probably the last video or the video before that. And that's on purpose because I filmed 2 videos in a row. I feel really good about these videos and just recording, letting you guys know a little bit more about myself. So as you can tell by the title, I will be sharing all of my piercings with you. As most people are probably watching this or probably can see, I do have a lot of tattoos as well, but I feel like that would just be way too long of a video. So I'm just gonna go ahead and split this video into 2 parts. This first part will be my piercings because I feel like I don't have too many, and then my tattoo video will be the second part to this. I don't know when I'm gonna film that, probably later on down the road, but just know that's gonna be a second part. That's enough for the intro. I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so before I get into the first piercing, I'm gonna go over what I'm gonna be talking about in regards to each piercing. So I'll go over pain level, healing time, my experience, and where I got it pierced, if it was a good experience and I would recommend them. I will also leave their links or any of that information in the bottom bar. I don't think it would be helpful to talk about price because honestly it really depends on where you get it and when you get it. It also depends on the jewelry that you buy. So there's a lot of things to weigh out there. This is not going to be in any specific order because honestly I don't remember. Some of these piercings are really old, and I will be sharing only piercings that I currently have. I have gone through my fair share, I don't know, of piercings growing up. So all of that, I don't think anyone wants to hear about those just because I don't have them anymore. But if you guys do want to hear, because there's stories that do go along with them, then leave that in the comments below or like this video and I will do, I guess, a third part to this where I'll share like all my old... Really, Teddy? Oh my god, you're so demanding. All right, so going into the first piercing, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the first one that I see, but it's my septum. I got this one pierced in 2015, 2016. So I wanna say this was the most recent piercing or the last piercing that I got. Probably the last piercing that I'll ever get because don't think I'm gonna get any more. If anything, I'm probably gonna take out some. But yeah, I got this one in 2015, 2016. It was a 1 as far as pain. I don't know, I've just always had a high pain tolerance, so I don't think it hurt that much. You know, going into a piercing, you already know it's gonna pinch at least a little bit. So for me, it pinched, but it wasn't too bad. With the septum piercing, they do have a sweet spot. So if you go to a reputable spot, to a piercer that knows what they're doing, it should not hurt more than a pinch. I guess with this sweet spot, it's a thin part of the nose where when they pierce it, it should go smooth through it like butter. So for me, that's what it was. It did not hurt. It was a great experience. I think when I got that pierce, I was tearing because any piercing dealing with this area, like I think it's called the sinus, like if you get your nose pierced, if you get this pierced, I don't know, the bridge of your nose pierced, just anything here in general, it will trigger you tearing. And I think that's just a natural reaction of your body. So yeah, that one didn't hurt. If anything, I did start tearing when they clamped the area. So the healing process was smooth with this one. I didn't use any harsh chemicals. I always use a Q-tip just because it was inside the nose, and I would always make sure that I got the crusties off, that it was lubricated with saline, that my nose was clean inside and I didn't have any boogers up in there. You want to make sure your nose is clean throughout this process. That one definitely healed the fastest. It was pretty painless except for when I would forget to clean out the ring and it would get the crusties and it would harden a little bit. That would hurt once I would twist the nose ring a little bit just to get it a little bit loose. But other than that, I really enjoy this piercing. I can hide it when I want. I got this one done in Orange County. I don't even remember the place, but I will look it up and I will leave that information in the bottom bar. Second piercing, I will go with my nose piercings. I don't know if you guys can see, but I have double nostril piercings. So I did not get them at the same time. I got them on 2 different occasions. The first one I got when I believe I was not even 18 yet. So I wasn't supposed to get it. I got it at some sketchy ass spot, and I highly suggest you do not take my advice or take my experience and go with it, because it was really stupid. I ended up getting that one pierced at, I want to say like it was kind of like an indoor swap meet, and this was in Oakland. They did not card me, obviously. Worst decision, but luckily it worked out. Nothing happened. Surprisingly, that one healed fine, but they did pierce it with a gun, which I don't think I've ever heard of anyone piercing their nose with a gun unless it was at home, and they don't even suggest that. That's probably really, really stupid, because they don't even suggest piercing your ears with a gun, so how much more your nose? But anyways, going on with the story, I got that pierced with a gun. It did not hurt, and of course the jewelry in the gun was an earring, so I did have basically an earring in my nose for a minute. I kept it clean. That one healed pretty well. I switched out the jewelry pretty quickly just because I knew leaving an earring in there wouldn't do well with how, I don't know, with just the healing process. So I did switch it out. I went to a jewelry shop and had them switch it out to a regular, I believe was, I don't know the proper names for these things, but I believe it was just like a regular rhinestone type of stud. So I ended up getting the second nose piercing a few years later, and I knew going in I wanted to do like a one hoop, one stud kind of thing, because I didn't really see that too often out. So I was like, oh yeah, that looks cool. Thought it was so cool, thought I would get it. So I ended up going to Zebras for that, the second nose piercing. And at Zebras, they have really good reviews. They're very professional. It's a popular piercing shop in the Bay Area. I feel like a lot of people know about this place or have gotten pierced there. They have 2 locations. I believe I got this one pierced at the Walnut Creek, California location because I was living there at the time. And yeah, really clean place. I would recommend them. Great experience. They get pretty busy just because it's a popular piercing spot. That one, it went well. They pierced with a needle. That one went fine. I did have a little hiccup during the healing process, and ironically it was with the one that was pierced with a needle. It developed a keloid, which if you guys have piercings, you guys have heard of keloids, where it's kind of like a skin growth around the area, and I ended up using tea tree oil to fix that, and that worked well. Ever since then, I used that once or twice and I haven't had any issues since. It healed fine. My nose piercings, I would say they healed pretty well and pretty quickly. I did have to be careful as far as, you know, putting my clothes on with my hair, making sure nothing pulls on it, which is kind of like a common thing, especially when you're changing and the threads get caught on your nose ring. I've had it pulled out maybe 1 or 2 times, and luckily it was already healed by then, because I feel like it would have gotten infected if it did. Moving on to the next piercing is my cartilage piercing. This one I got pierced a long time ago. Besides like my regular ear piercing holes that I got when I was a baby, which are now stretched out obviously, this one is probably the longest one I've had. This one was pierced with a gun at Claire's. Luckily, this also healed pretty well. It's just that it took forever to heal. I want to say that took more than a year, maybe even 2 years to heal, which I don't think sounds good. It's a spot where it's commonly just being hit. And so every time that would happen, my ear would swell up, and I don't know, I would just let it sit in there, or especially when I'm at the salon and they're brushing my hair and it gets caught in the comb. Oh, that would hurt so bad. But I just kept that in there, and I had a regular stud for the longest time because that's what I was pierced with. I believe I was probably like 16 at the time. My mom took us to go get pierced because me and my sister both wanted it, and we got that done at Claire's. And I wouldn't suggest that. Any place that pierces with guns, Claire's, any of those kiosks, do not go there. Go ahead and get pierced at a piercing shop. This one has healed for a few years now, but I think what I should have done to have it heal a lot faster was change it out to jewelry like this. I don't know if you guys can see it, but jewelry like this, where it's not an earring with a butterfly backing, which I will insert pictures of what a butterfly backing is. I'm pretty sure if you've gotten your ears pierced at Claire's or any of those kiosks, they typically pierce with a butterfly backing. So I feel like I should have switched my jewelry out to something like this. a barbell or a curved barbell, just something that was meant for piercings, and I think it would have healed a lot faster than it did. Oh, I'll also leave links to the jewelry, of any of the jewelry that I have, in the bottom bar as well, because I think that would be helpful. And I'll also leave the measurements as far as like what the millimeters, whether it's the septum ring or it's the barbell here. I will leave the millimeters down below, but of course it differs from person to person, because someone might have a bigger ear than me or might have a bigger nostril than me, so you always want to maybe go into your local piercing shop and have them measure it out for you before you buy something and it ends up not fitting, and of course you can't return it because that's just gross. The next piercing I have are my regular earrings. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I don't have any earrings in there right now, but there you can see that they're pierced, and I don't usually wear any earrings in here. I've been wearing hoops because I like the look of them, but they just kind of look a little weird unless I have my hair down and you can't really see that it's coming from this area of my ear. So I got these because at Claire's too, and I just wanted them because I had stretched out my first ear piercings and I couldn't wear earrings anymore, and I wanted to wear some cute studs or hoops if I wanted. So yeah, those ones are healed, even if I haven't worn earrings in them for a while. Every now and then I'll just wear earrings just so to make sure that the hole is still open, but these don't seem to close. These ones, I feel like they had an allergic reaction in the beginning to the earrings I was pierced with, and it did kind of scar it a little bit, but you can't really see it. And then the last piercing are obviously my ear piercings that I got when I was a baby. I obviously don't know how much it hurt. So yeah, I stretched them out. They're at 5/8, and I've been this size for a very, very long time now. I actually went down a size, which it's fine. At this point, it really doesn't matter. I'm thinking about closing them, which is really sad because it's nostalgic for me. It really reminds me of like high school and just the whole experience and process of stretching out my ears. Now, I don't know if I want to close it anytime soon, but I know I will be closing them, and I don't know if they're going to close all the way, and that's my issue, but they're there, and I've grown attached to them. I've thought about closing them in the past. So yeah, that was pretty much it for my all of my piercings that I currently have, my experience, my pain level, healing process. So I think the only two places that I would recommend are the one in Orange County and then Zebras in the Bay Area. Again, I'll leave them in the bottom bar because I don't remember where else. Oh, I got them pierced at Claire's, and I wouldn't recommend Claire's at all. So yeah, that was about it, guys. I hope you guys liked this video. I don't know, I thought it was just something to share with you a little bit more about me, because obviously I do have piercings and tattoos. So yeah, if you guys want to hear about all of my other piercings and the stories with that, give this a like, leave that in the comments below. But just know a number 2 is coming with my tattoos. So yeah, love you guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the bell button. So of course it would stop on me, but yeah, don't forget to hit that like button so I know you like this content. Hit the bell button first and foremost, because that will let you know when I upload a new video, and while you're here you might as well subscribe. But yeah, that was about it. Hope you guys liked this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.